What's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to show you how to become more emotionally attractive as a man. So this is the part 2 to the how to become physically attractive video. If you haven't seen it, then check it out. In this one, we're going to explore the other side of the coin and go over all the things that make you more attractive from an emotional perspective. And I would say this one is just as, if not significantly more important than the physical one, because girls really want a man who has his shit together emotionally. And if you don't, you're going to really struggle with meeting women. Alright, so before we jump into the video, I do have one ask. If you're enjoying the content on this channel, then please hit the like button, hit subscribe, and click the bell for notifications so you don't miss out any of the awesome videos we have coming up. And if you don't like the content, then send it to an enemy. Alright, so the first thing on the list is being grounded. So think about it like this, right? The chick is, she's emotionally all over the place, right? Girls are usually more emotionally volatile, right? They're like, they can go from happy to sad, someone says something that affects their day. You want to be basically the opposite of that as a man. You want to be cool, calm, and collected, right? Shit doesn't rattle you, like a weird situation, a comment, you still keep your cool, right? So think of like, James Bond, right? Like, is he the kind of guy that's going to get super, affected by the environment? No. He controls the environment. That doesn't mean you don't want to have emotions, right? You do want to have emotions as a man, but you don't want to be super volatile and all over the place. You want to be calm, cool, collected. Next is develop emotional mastery. So a big part of this is just being emotionally non-reactive. So this kind of ties into the first one, but I want to take it one step further. If a girl gives you a shit test or there's a situation, like maybe, for example, she freaks out over something minor, right? And she's like, "Woo!" You don't want to like match that energy. You want to be like, babe, why are you freaking out? It's not a big deal, right? So you want to be unreactive. Like, you don't let shit bother you. Like, you almost have this like shit-eating grin that you carry throughout your day. You don't take little things that happen too seriously, and you're just, again, you're chill, you're calm under pressure, and you're very, you don't let people emotionally trigger you. Like, someone says something, you're like, okay, cool. You don't give a shit. Next is become confident. Now, this may be one of those things like, oh, dude, easier said than done. True. But believe it or not, at one point in my life, I lacked any kind of confidence with women. When I would approach a girl, I would be all over the place. I'd be nervous. I was not grounded. I was very emotionally reactive, right? So you might be thinking, okay, well, what changed? Well, the biggest thing that changed is getting positive reference experiences. If you go back to my earlier videos from 2 years ago, you're going to see that, I was a lot less confident when I was doing these videos. But I have years of doing videos that people like, so I'm a lot more confident because I have positive reference experience. I've been, chatting up girls and sleeping with girls, seducing girls for, a decade, right? So I have a lot of positive reference experiences. So thus, my subconscious is like, yeah, this is not a big deal. He's got this. Now, if you put me in a situation that I'm not familiar with, like, a board meeting, with a bunch of, let's say, Wall Street guys, and I'm talking about something I know nothing about, like accounting, I'm going to be a lot less confident. Now, of course, some of the confidence I have with other areas of my life will carry over. You do have this carryover effect, but, it is also very situational. So what you want to do is you want to get a lot of wins. Develop a lot of positive reference experiences in what area you're trying to improve. So if you're watching this video, chances are it's women. So you want to go out with a lot of girls, hook up with a lot of girls, get positive experiences with a lot of girls. And that will basically signal to your subconscious like, hey, it's okay. He's got this shit. We can be more confident, right? Confidence comes from competence. The next one is develop social intelligence and empathy. So you don't want to be super, emotional, but you do want to have empathy and you do want to understand what's going on. So quite often when I go on a date with a girl, she's impressed how well I'm able to read her or I'm able to read the situation, right? But like whenever I see vast majority of social situations or, I'm presented with a situation just like me and a girl, I can read her really well, right? And again, that's because I developed a high level of social intelligence by going out and doing things over and over. And also watching these breakdowns, it doesn't have to be just me, but a coach who knows what he's talking about, where you can see things that you might have missed helps. Also, of course, another big one is doing infield. So if you can videotape yourself talking to girls, and you watch it back and you honestly analyze it and you drop the ego, that will help you develop social intelligence massively. Also just breaking down your fails, right? Like if I have a date that doesn't go well, like in the past, I would sit down, I would think about it, write down reasons of what I could have done better. Oh, I missed missed on this opportunity that she was giving me. Oh, she was saying this, that she's not comfortable with this plan, and I didn't really, address it, right? So this is very important. And the other side of this coin, number 5, is develop self-awareness. So self-awareness is when you know all the things you're doing, positive and negative. And a lot of guys don't have self-awareness. I would say the majority of people in general completely lack self-awareness. So if you say, hey, do you know that you do this, this, and this? They'll get defensive. They'll be like, no, I don't. That's not attractive and that's not optimal. So with me personally, I know my shortcomings. Like one of them is I have narcissistic tendencies. I tend to overlook other people's feelings. So if someone says to me, like a girl I'm seeing or a close friend, hey, you can be a little narcissistic sometimes. I'll be like, you're totally right. Another one is, for example, I can be very emotionally closed off. Like it takes a while for me to really trust you with my emotions. And again, like when a girl points that out, I'm like, yeah, you're 100% right. That is, something I'm working on. So you want to be very self-aware, be aware of all the behaviors you're doing, and then, only then can you start to improve on them. All your bad habits, all this shit. Next one is high self-esteem. And this one goes after self-awareness because I think that you need to really analyze your bad habits, all the things you're doing wrong in order to truly develop self-esteem. So having high self-esteem and there's a big difference between this and having a big ego, right? So big ego would be like you think you're the shit and you need to constantly prove to other people that you're the shit. So if someone, maybe makes a little sarcastic, friendly joke, you take it personally, like, what are you talking about? Because this goes against your, ego belief that you're the shit, right? Self-esteem is different. Self-esteem is you might think you're the shit, but you don't need to prove anything to anybody because you're confident in that belief. So if someone makes a joke, you can have a laugh about it. You're like, you don't let things bring your state down because you're the shit, you're doing good things. You don't need validation from the outside world. You don't need external factors to tell you that you're awesome. And having high self-esteem is attractive to women. Like very few women want to be with a guy with low self-esteem. And also, as a side note, you want to go for girls who also have at least somewhat decent self-esteem. You don't want to go for low self-esteem girls. They might be easier to initially sleep with, potentially, not often, but it's not worth long-term trade-off. Next big one is develop boundaries and don't be a pushover. So women universally get turned off by men who they can just when the man lets the woman walk all over them, where he doesn't have any boundaries. Now, there's some confusion in the pickup community. Okay, how do you enforce your boundary? The right way to do it is in a calm, cool, collected way. Like you still stay grounded. So all of these apply together. So for example, if a girl crosses my boundary, what am I going to do? Am I going to yell at her? Am I going to, make a big deal of it? No, I'm going to be like, hey, I want to talk to you about something. So the other day you did this, this, and that, and I'll be honest, that made me feel like this, and it shows me that you don't really respect me in that situation. So, I just want to point that out. Please don't do it again. That is how you communicate your boundary being crossed. And chances are, 99 out of 100 times, that is going to be more than enough. It's not going to happen again, at least if she's a decent girl. Now, of course, if it does happen again, the key is to have a willingness to walk away. Okay, well, I told you about this, you did it again. This is a pattern, so I'm sorry, but, I'm going to miss you, but this is not going to work out. Having this willingness to walk away from people who consistently cross your boundaries is important. Of course, there's some things that you don't need multiple offenses. Like if a friend or girl ever steals from me, she's not going to get a second chance. Like, I'll be like, wow, that really wasn't cool. I trusted you and you stole from me. Like, we're done. Like, good luck in life, right? So again, you want to have boundaries and not let people walk all over you because that's very unattractive. The next big one is having an abundance mindset. So an abundance mindset is with women is like, hey, I like this girl, I don't want to lose her, but if it doesn't work out, there's always more fish in the sea. It's not the end of the world. A scarcity mindset is like, no, like this chick is perfect. Like she's the one. I got to make it work with her. I can't lose her. She's so important to me, right? You don't want to have that mindset. You want to develop an abundance mindset. This also comes through getting positive reference experiences. That's going to make you a lot more calm, a lot more grounded, a lot more confident, and it's also going to be much more attractive to women. And the last big one is walking the walk. You don't want to be a guy that just talks shit, that's like, yeah, I'm such a player, but then you're really not a player. You're a giant dork, right? You want to be at least somewhat congruent to who you really are. And when women feel like you're putting on a shtick, putting on an act, that's when you're going to get the shit test. That's when girls are going to give you shit. Like that's when you're going to get a lot of the things that you want to avoid in the first place. So you want to be the guy that walks the walk, not just talks the talk. So hopefully you guys found this video valuable. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, if you guys are enjoying the content on this channel, then please hit that subscribe button. Don't be one of the shadow watchers. It allows us to grow the channel and also keep putting out fresh, awesome content for you guys. You know, the more subs we get, the cooler collaborations we can do, and the more epic videos we can make for you guys to enjoy. And as I promised, once we hit 75,000 subs, I'm gonna release some never before seen cold approach infield of me getting rejected. So at the very least, everyone can feel better about their own cold approach skills. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time.